pleas. We have to look at the transcript.
Okay.
But it was something to the effect of
50
later,
memberships.
for whatever reason, a short while later, did he re-enter his guilty plea?
Okay, well, maybe we will get the necessary information to the jury without having to do it through a couple of witnesses. Maybe y'all could work on a stipulation. Why don't y'all make efforts to work on a stipulation that would cover that?
Also, Your Honor, there was the matter of the playing of Mr. Zachary's 2017 interview by Mr. Williams. Your Honor, if I am not mistaken, that the portions that were played included a reference by Mr. Zachary to the fact that Mr. Winfrey had entered that guilty plea. If I'm wrong, I accept that, but my memory is that from the time that it was first broached way back when, earlier this year in April or whenever it was, and now Defendant Williams actually introduced the fact of the guilty plea by Mr. Winfrey through cross-examination of one of the state's witnesses. In playing a video, the witness that was being interviewed actually talked about that guilty plea.
Well, that may be, but regardless, we need the correct information in front of the jury. So,
Can I just make a statement on that? Is that okay?
yeah.
So I do believe that Mr. Zachary said that Mr. Winfrey pled guilty.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, to say that I somehow then introduced that concept, you know, I'm dealing with a fact that already came out before the jury.
Come out, right.
So I don't think that holds much weight.
Yeah, but I would like for y'all to try to figure out a stipulation that will cover what the situation was, and then I'll give an instruction about that having ultimately been a best interest plea.
Okay.
Okay.
When I say okay, I still intend to call the witnesses, but I will follow your direction.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, if that's what's necessary, that's what's necessary, but I don't believe it should ultimately be necessary. I think there ought to be a stipulation that could be worked out, and if it's not a stipulation, then you can just propose what the stipulation would be, and I'll take it from there, maybe.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So, on motion in limine 61, there was one part that was still outstanding, which was the issue of the text messages that are captured through the wiretap, and there's, I guess, a best evidence objection to that. So what's the state's intent on that?
Out to Elisa.
With respect to the text messages in the wiretap are as they were sent through the carrier. So,
okay, and which carrier? Have we already had all of the various carriers come in and
I think it's
certify?
It's Verizon, and no one has talked about the wiretap evidence yet. That has not been broached yet.
Well, I'm broaching it now because it's in this motion in limine.
Through a witness in front of the jury. That's what I meant.
Motion number
Okay,
60
so
right now?
those records, then we haven't had a business representative come in and
Correct.
say anything about those records. But are they going to ultimately?
We have a business record, I think.
Okay.
Just one second. What we have on our.
She said, hold on a second.
Have you ever had a dream that
we have a
that you had
we got a
you could
and I'm with we need to get the
We have the witness, the T3 custodian,
Well, let me
the
put Amy in the banner.
wiretap custodian, who will be addressing the content or the wiretap issues in the system and the way that the information is captured.
When you say, just for clarification, Your Honor, when you say the wiretap custodian, who are you referring to?
Who?
Mr. Scherer, S-H-E-R. S-C-H-E-R-E-R.
Okay. And, okay, so he'll testify to how it gets captured, and will he, is he going to be able to certify that it's accurate?
Yeah, I believe he will, just as much
Okay.
as it. Yes, I believe that that will be satisfied with that witness. Additionally, when we are, I believe that I understood the question last week to deal with not the text message box per se, but the one up under it, which was the notes, I think. And I don't recall if that was something that I misunderstood, but there's a portion of that wiretap that has
shout out to Amy with the
sort of
50
an
bomb.
interpretation, the listener's interpretation of what was heard. That's not what we're trying to introduce. It's just the content of the actual text message box.
Okay. So is there anything else I need to entertain with regard to that?
I don't believe so, but I'll let counsel speak for themselves.
Defense counsel?
Shout out to PhD.
So, Your Honor, I spoke with the Honorable Mr. Atkins, and he was going to
Thank you, Amy.
verify. But my belief, and I need verification, is that if I was being wiretapped and I'm sending the Honorable Carlton Matthews a text message, "I'll meet you tomorrow at the Braves game," it is not collected the way I sent it. So it's somebody, the sworn person who is on the team, who's allowed to be a listener or a reader of the contents of the wiretap, would then read that, and they put in the line sheet, Brian Steele's text was to Carlton Matthews, "I'll meet you at the Brave game tomorrow." If that's the way it is, I'm objecting, because then it's not the original. And then I want to know what you just said, if they can lay a foundation that they have the original text message, or Verizon, it was over my objection last time, but they kept it accurately in the course of business. I'll waive this objection, but I do need Mr.
Okay.
Atkins, who's been nothing but great always. He said that, unless he found it out now, he said that he would make sure which way it is. If it's
Okay.
an actual replica or if it's a human being.
Sure.
And that's
yeah,
my
that
issue.
would definitely be kind of a different circumstance.
And we verified, Your Honor. So with the T3 system, Your Honor, the there's two boxes. There's a text message box and a synopsis box. In the text message box, that is the text message that came in through the phone. Our understanding is, while you're in the wire room, you can either accept or not accept it. So you can either accept it as it comes
This whole
in,
thing got
or
our hair
not
all did
accept
up.
it and it won't show up. But the person viewing the wiretap cannot manipulate the text message box. The other box is their own notes.
That's the notes
That's
box.
the notes, and we're going to try to show you an example. We were trying to find an example with both, but we can share the screen.
Well, y'all don't, do I understand you to be saying that the state does not intend to even try to introduce anything from the notes synopsis section boxes?
Correct.
But only from the text message boxes, which are supposed to be a verbatim capture of the text?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
That foundation laid, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there was a kind of overlapping with regard to Summer Good, a motion in limine 63, and then a Stillwell motion that covered some of the same potential evidence. Are we ready to go through that? And it sounds like there's agreement as to some things, and some things need to be litigated.
Your Honor, I don't know if it needs to be litigated today. I think that it is, once Ms. Good takes a stand, if we lay the proper foundation, there'll either be a foundational objection or not, but we agree generally with both motions that anything that is speculation, anything that is hearsay, we do not intend to get in with Ms. Good.
Okay.
However, if there is, I think there might be disagreement on her knowledge of Mr. Williams. The state would intend to lay a foundation before we get into that question.
Okay.
But I don't think it's anything we can litigate until she
Okay.
takes a stand.
All right. And so this kind of summary sheet that's discussion on motion in limine 63, motion in limine re Summer Good, that's pretty much what we might be litigating or what foundational issues there might be.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so we'll just
Shout out to Amy.
come back to that.
Judge Whitaker's shooting him down this morning.
All right, and then we have a basically supplement, a motion and supplemental motion, joint motion to exclude evidence that y'all have also run down what you agree to and what you don't agree to. The things that there is no agreement on right now, is that something we can litigate today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, let's turn to that then. And would it be helpful to access the Dropbox for that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think she's
Judge
Link was
Whitaker's
sent
shooting him down
October
today.
8th at 11:36 by Mr. Adkins. And y'all may have it before then as well.
And, Your Honor, just to be clear, when, for example, if if that motion, paragraph 3 in that Dropbox link, they follow the same numbering. So the
Okay.
court, counsel should all be able to easily find what we're addressing because the
Okay.
numbering is identical to Mr. Steele's motion.
All right.
It looks like you already got one. Yeah, you already got one, Kimberly. Oh, we might need to skip ahead here.
With everybody's got the link up, we can just start at the beginning with item number 1.
Correct.
All
yeah.
right,
These are going to be
and what's
non-jury
the
days.
relevance purpose of image 623?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this MS623 is a gun that was found underneath a mattress when one of the co-conspirators, Antonio Sumlin, was arrested in, I believe, May or April of 2022, Your Honor. And we believe that this picture is relevant to show that this, one of the YSL co-conspirators, the nature of this enterprise. One of the things that we allege in our preamble to the indictment is that YSL maintains armed individuals ready and willing to preserve, protect, and enhance the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise. And the fact that he had this gun in the bedroom that he was in underneath his bed, we believe is relevant to show that.
All right. And who's going to be arguing these for the defense? Sure, I mean, that's fine. All right, whomever is going to take this portion.
Yeah, there's no jury today. These
Your
are
Honor, it was
non-jury
explained
days.
in our case law that our gang statute was modeled after our RICO statute. And I cite the case to the court, and I did not bring extra copies. I apologize. Alexander, Alexander versus State. It's 371 Georgia Appeal, 532. It's in Division 2. 901 Southeast 2D, 584, 2024 case. And what our second highest court explains is that it is essential that the state, I'm quoting, demonstrate that the commission of the predicate act was intended to further the interests of the gang. So this is a gang count, and the appellate court held that just doing some crime or having some gang paraphernalia, or in this case a gun under the bed, that's not enough to say that this furthers the interests of the gang. There's no nexus. And here, the state has continually put into evidence people associating with other people. This is Mr. Sumlin, correct? Who I believe is going to testify.
Okay.
And the fact that he has drugs or guns or slogans of violence, I'm not saying he does, but you have to show that somehow that gun or that act somehow affected, and there was a nexus to the trial that's going on. The state has other pictures of him with guns.
Membership card next to the gun.
So I also say it's cumulative and unnecessary evidence. But that's my argument.
All right.
Can we get a site again, Your Honor?
The site to Alexander?
Yeah, 871 Georgia F 532.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, we don't have any other pictures of Mr. Sumlin with guns that we intend. Sorry, if you can hear me, I'm sorry. We don't have any other, and I'm just confirming, but I don't believe we have any other pictures of Mr. Sumlin with guns. This is the only picture we have, and that's because he was arrested with this. Again, the weapon was underneath his mattress when he was arrested.
Again, what does this have to do to Young Thug? How many times are we going to ask that question? I'm never starting a record label.
All right. Well, I mean,
I'll be out here doing.
It's ultimately a jury determination whether they believe that he had this gun to further gang purposes. But I think in terms of what needs to be shown for the state to secure its admission, that's been satisfied. So to the extent you do not have pictures of him with guns already, then I would admit it. But if you do, then I'm going to exclude it as cumulative.
Dang, they get shot down today. Defense is taking home some wins.